December. I had on my schedule to be here, but the Ocmulgee Chamber was having their dinner the same night, and so I was up at the chamber that night. Definitely want to be here. It's been a great day today. Been over at Chakota. Just left a small business meeting up in Tulsa, small business owners. And of course, as you know, Tulsa County is kind of flowing south, and all their businesses are coming this direction, and we're thankful for it. Matter of fact, we just landed a business in Okemah that Tulsa had sent to us, and we're excited about that. So I think that's a great partnership. I know that we got a program tonight with Bruce, and I don't want to use a lot of his time. The Pro Tem has given me several assignments. One is Vice Chairman of Transportation and General Government. They said it's very unusual for a freshman senator to be Vice Chairman of that group. I called the Pro Tem and thanked him. He said, well, the way you ran your businesses and your campaign, and we just want you to be in that group and running that group. It oversees 19 agencies. And I've got a list of those. I went over one by one today at a meeting where they allowed me to speak longer than I have tonight. But it's from, I see them very lightly, from the Ethics Commission to the Merit Protection, the Election Board, State Auditor, the Oklahoma Tax Commission, the Bond Advisory, Emergency Management, the Governor's Office, the House Budget, the Senate Budget, the Office of Management and Enterprise, the Military, the Transportation, and the Treasury. And so what I'm trying to do, we'll start our budget hearings toward the end of the month in those areas. What I've asked to do is contact the heads of all of those organizations and meet with them early on, because if we just go into a budget meeting, they got their 15 minutes, they tell us what we want to hear, and we decide what their budget's going to look like. And so I started after the inauguration yesterday with these. I had 5 meetings yesterday with the department heads, from the head of the Tax Commission. It's just been great. My question is, what is your program, and why should taxpayers be supporting your program? And what can we do to save money within your program? And again, just very briefly tonight, it's just like an Oklahoma Tax Commission. If we went more to electronic filing, it costs $6 to file every written form in Oklahoma. It costs 5 cents to do that electronically. Just think how much money we could save if everybody just did electronic filing of their taxes. That's some of the areas we're looking at. It's great. I've got a meeting here in Ocmulgee tomorrow, and where the Colonel Wilhelm with the military and writing their budgets, and so we chose to meet here in Ocmulgee, and we're going to be talking about that. So that'll take place tomorrow afternoon right here in Ocmulgee. I'm excited about what's going on. In addition to that committee, I'm also serving on education, on judiciary, and on business and commerce. And then all the senators are on the major appropriations committee. Got a lot of work before us. We're going to look at about a $300 million shortfall from last year. Not so much due to the oil. Oil money's not going to hit us for probably another couple of months before it's going to hit. Remember last year's budget, they used a lot of one-time money. And so this year we're going to be looking at probably about $6.7 billion, $6.8 billion in our budget. We're down to simply 44 cents out of every dollar the legislature gets to appropriate anymore. The other 56 cents is just off the top money that's already been given. And I met with Secretary Ridley. We talked about transportation. There's some major projects going to be coming in Ocmulgee County in the next year. We're thankful about that. You realize we gave them $59 million more this year than what we gave them last year, until they reached $575 million a year. I talked to you before when I was here about getting involved in education. And of course, Superintendent Hoffmeister took office yesterday, but before that, we organized on the campus of West Watkins for her to come and meet with all of the superintendents of District 8, and she has done that. We had some out of District 7, over 30 superintendents met with her, and she stayed until the very last one was gone. We talked about rural schools and how important rural schools are to us, and she's going to be great to work with. And so far, I've been out in the schools and talked to somebody, have a question. I can text her within just a few minutes. I can have an answer to that, or she'll be calling the superintendent and working with them. She's really going to try hard to do that. Some of the funding that they're talking about giving the teachers a raise this year is going to be difficult. If we give the $2,500 a year raise to the teachers, we're challenged in a number of areas of doing that. I've been around talking to some of the superintendents, such as in Henrietta. You know, they pay $1,800 above formula. So if you give $2,500 to Henrietta schools to give the teachers, how are we going to make sure the teacher gets the $2,500? They could end up just getting the $700. If we mandate the $2,500 to go directly to the teachers, then next year we've got an unfunded mandate. And so there's a lot of challenges in dealing with the budget coming in, but we're going to be hands-on and doing that. The other thing that I've done, I met with the head of the Department of Commerce And actually the interim director, Don Hackler, the secretary, has stepped down. And we are working on an inventory of every vacant building in District 8. And that will be integrated with Commerce Department's website, and so they'll be able to make contacts. The governor has submitted the name of Debbie Snodgrass to the Senate to be the new Secretary of Commerce. She's already Secretary of Tourism. I met with her the other night, and so I want to get you out inside District 8. We want to be in Okmulgee, we want to be in Chakotah, we want to be in Eufaula. And want you to know what we're doing out this way. She said, I'd love to be there, and I'd love to be a part of that. And so I'll be meeting with her in a very short period of time, and I think you're going to see us out inside of the district. Again, we had Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb within the district today, and we want to keep all the people we can coming through here to realize we exist. We're 2 points ahead in our employment. We're tired of that. We want jobs. We want to work together. And so we're representing District 8. I think it's a great time, and I appreciate your support in the race. I want you to know I plan to be at these meetings as often as possible. I hope you understand during session. It may not always be possible on a Tuesday night to be able to get out of session and get back over here. But at the same time, you can contact me anytime, and I'll certainly answer any questions that you have going on. Been very fortunate. I kept Susan, who was Roger Ballinger's executive assistant. She knows the district and doing very well. Senator Ballinger was up on the 5th floor, had a nice office, and after he became city manager of Okmulgee back in June, and after the election, I just kind of camped out in his office. Well, I was the last freshman to draw for an office, so really I didn't get to draw. They just assigned me an office, and happened to be Senator Ballinger's office, 527B. So nobody's moved, we're in the same place, up on the 5th floor, and you're welcome to be in that office anytime you want to be in the office. There are some bills that are coming up that you might have heard some things about. Senator Allen's got a bill allowing legislators to carry guns, and it seems like where I go, people ask about that. I'm very much Second Amendment, but I believe if the legislator carry guns, everybody ought to be able to carry guns. There's nothing special about us. And one person asked me, well, what if the Capitol is overthrown and somebody takes over the seat of government? And I said, well, first of all, if they hold all of us hostage up there, nobody's going to pay $1. I guarantee you that's not going to make any difference. And the second thing is the people are the seat of government. It's not that building. And you know, I think the last thing we need are legislators on the floor of either the Senate or the House packing heat. Not there. The hoodie bill has certainly got a lot of people's attention. If you read the bill, the hood or hoodies is nowhere to be found anywhere in that bill. That was just something that came alive and got some attention of its own, but that's just part of what we see going on. If I could take just a moment, any questions from anyone?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How the Democrats like you guys over there?
Well, I've not sat down with them one-to-one and asked that question yet. It is interesting that one of the new senators, Anastasia Pittman, is a Democrat, and we've already hit it off on several areas. We talked to him. Randy Bass is the head of the Democrats. He seconded Pro Tem's nomination to be Pro Tem, Senator Beeman. I'm supposed to meet with him this next week and sit down and talk about it. We're working with Steve Copeland on some things that are going to be happening here within the area. And so I think that's going to be very, very good. I keep telling them, I said, you know, out here, we're not so much Democrat or Republican as we are just rural and urban. We got some rural issues that we need to confront and do it. Now, of course, on the Republican side, we're very strong on being pro-life and Second Amendment and really small business. And we're going to struggle with some of them because they keep talking about being big business and increasing the size of government and certainly being the anti-reducing the tax structure. But good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you share with us the company that's going to Akima that came from that Tulsa gave them?
Yes. There's a company out of Louisiana. It's called Platinum Tube and Core, and they just simply make round tubes. And Paragold out of Broken Arrow is one of their big customers, and so they are going to employ about 14 people. And matter of fact, they've already moved their first machine in. But it's one that Tulsa did not have a building for, and for them to be able to move into, they called us. We had the building ready to go. Janet Smith, who is the Economic Development Director with PSO, is instrumental in that, and I've got an appointment set up with her on January 22nd, 2 o'clock. Then I'll be back in her office talking about, again, District 8 and moving businesses down this way. So. Any other questions? All right, Jenica, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.